It came! It finally came!
Alright, it's time. It's finally time.
A big one.
For all you Azalea players, we finally got there. I think she's no longer in the F tier. I think she's getting a big bump, and possibly in a very competitive way. So let's get right to it. Alright, let's talk about the one piece of weaponry that's really putting her on this map. Let's talk about Sand Scour Great Bow. I remember when this first got spoiled, it was like, okay, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see, because maybe, is this it? Is this it? Well, guess what? I think it is. Let's just give a quick review here. Once per turn action, look at the top card of your deck. You can put an arrow from your hand or on the top of your deck into your arsenal. Whenever, and you get go again, all right? That's its own line. The other line is whenever you have an arrow put face up into your arsenal from your deck, you put an aim counter on it, okay? So you don't have to activate the bow to get an aim counter. And that's the big important thing, because with the Azalea ability, you know, putting the arsenal on the bottom and putting the top card on the deck to give it dominate, it comes in face up into your arsenal, so it will have the aim counter as well. So it'll have an aim counter and dominate just from Azalea's ability. We'll talk about Hornet Sting here. This is actually a blitz playable card if you don't want to run the bracers. I think it's okay. Honestly, it's okay. It just, you kind of get to know what on top of your deck. You deal one little point of damage, and if it's not an arrow card, you can put it on the bottom. I mean, that part's pretty nice. It does block for one, where the previous hand piece didn't. So it's okay. Honestly, out of all the rare equipment spoiled, this one actually can get played outside of commoner, I feel. All right, this card is so Heat Seeker. It's a 1 for 5. I think this card, you know, doesn't have to get played with the Sand Scour bow. I think it's okay. I think it works with Sand Scour bow quite well, but I think this is one of the few cards that got printed that isn't necessarily needing the new bow to work, because when this hits at the beginning of the end phase, you put the top card of your deck face up to your arsenal. So that's just kind of nice. It just replaces your arsenal for you, and that's a good card. That's a good arrow, honestly. Now let's talk about the cards that do want the aim counter 100%. We'll start with Immobilizing Shot. This is the new Retina Ledger. It's not as good, but it is a 0 for 4, so it doesn't cost anything to shoot it, which is super nice. When this hits a hero, they can't play more than one attack action and one non-attack action, which is awesome. It does need the aim counter, but with the right build, that's not a problem at all. 0 for 4 that has that on-hit effect is just so huge, and I think that is really what, like, this is one of the cards that, you know, Red Ledger was Azalea's best, or is Azalea's best card, right? But now you get a little miniature Red Ledger, so now you get kind of 6 of that sort of effect where you're just making them say, well, all right, 1 action point, that's all you get. All right, moving on. Dead Eye, a yellow pitch, but that you're gonna want to run 3 of for sure. It costs 1. Your next action or arrow attack gets +3, so it's a 1 for 3. We've seen many of those, but this one has an even better effect, because if it has an aim counter on it, it gains when this hits a hero. Look at the card in their hand and choose a card. They discard that card, so you get to choose what card they discard, which is huge. Deadeye is, and it blocks for 3. Again, the aim counter, it is not a problem with this deck. You can easily pilot, or like craft and pilot the deck to make it where aim counters are given out like candy on Halloween. And when that's the case, when you get the hit to discard a card, that's huge. Drill Shot, another 0 cost for 4, which is always nice. If it has an aim counter, it gains piercing, that's okay, but that makes it piercing actually becomes relevant with its next ability, in that when this hits a hero, put in a -1 counter on a piece of equipment they control. You don't even need the aim counter for that. So it's just 0 for 4. You're able to do that, that's actually really good. But the fact that it has piercing, if it does have an aim counter, so because typically maybe they would be like, okay, well, I'll just block with this equipment then. well, because like it's going to get destroyed anyways, I'll just block with it anyways. Well, now I can go after your other piece of equipment because now I got piercing to like pump it up. This helps against the shield. This helps against just any sort of equipment, and it's just, you know, making it a lot. Like, you don't have, if the equipment blocks, you don't have to put a negative counter on that equipment. You can put it on another piece of equipment. Like, drill shot 0 for 4 is just great. And then the aim counter on this one is actually probably the weakest effect because the card itself already had a strong effect. All right, blessing of focus, another blessing. This one, I'm not that huge on. It's okay. If you have a go again from something, then you can play this out the end turn because it opts 3 and then you reveal the top card of the deck and you get to put it in your arsenal with an aim counter on it. So that's actually not bad. That saves you a few resources and you get to choose what arrow goes in the arsenal. And it's opt 3, so you can kind of stack it, be like, okay, I'm gonna put this arrow on top, so I put this one in the arsenal and then do his ability, and then the top arrow go in the arsenal and I have dominate now, and I'll still have the aim counter, all that sort of shenanigans, right? So like this does allow for that, but the fact that it does take up an action to play it out is where it can get a little dicey. There's not a lot of go again in this deck. If you build a deck that can run go again, this actually might be worth considering. This at this point, the blessing becomes very good. It does cost 1, so that one always hurts. But hemorrhage bore, this one is another great arrow if it gets an aim counter. When it hits a hero, destroy a card in their arsenal. This is a command and conquer, right? This is Azalea's command and conquer. So now we're seeing another red ledger. We're seeing a discard. We're seeing a arrow that hurts equipment. Now we're seeing an arrow that destroys the arsenal. I don't know. Seems like there's a lot of good arrows. Let's talk about this one. A 0 for 3, except it's really a 0 for 5 because yes, we are going to have an aim counter on it. 0 for 5. That's just a good attack. That's just a good attack. That's all there is to it. That's all I got to say about it. It's just a good attack. Point to tip. Target face-up arrow in your arsenal gains +3 until the end of turn. Put an aim counter on it. That one, I mean, it costs 0. It's a pump, but it does have to be a face-up arrow to get the pump. And if you have a face-up arrow in your arsenal, it probably already has an aim counter, so I don't think that second part really matters. I think there's better 0 for 3 pumps. I think you can just play Nimblism, and that'd be fine. This one also just blocks for 2, so you might as well. So that's point tip. I think it's the one ranger card that I wouldn't even include. Blessing and focus if you have the right deck for it. But honestly, I try to like give out the best cards. I think it's Sandscour Great Bow for Azalea, and I am saying Azalea because like where Lexi could run these arrows and this bow even, I think it's definitely more fit for Azalea. And so honestly, guys, I have been playtesting with the Azalea deck, and I got to be honest, I'm not an Azalea player. I'm trying, I'm learning, but it's not a pick up and go. That's what I found out. I think you give this to Levi Roch or whatever, however you say his last name, but the guy who top forward with Azalea at a battle hard, and he'll take this deck places. So I think Azalea will be a part of the meta. I don't know if she'll be like a pivotal part. You know, I think Oldhim can still be a problem for her, but I think she's like in that same range as Lexi. Honestly, I don't think she's a laughable hero anymore. I think she's a hero that commands respect, and I think it's because this bow with these arrows allow that to happen. I mean, there's all these on-hit effects are huge, so huge. So, you know, I might not be good for her right now, but she's a good hero, that's for sure. So, if you're a Azalea player, you got a good horizon coming your way.